Hey guys, what's going on? Japan here, Henry Hyde on the screen. Tirpitz mod, same as the last one of the Tirpitz video I put up. You getting to thinking at the end of that last Tirpitz video, I didn't want to give the wrong impression of how I played the Tirpitz, so it's a little more classic approach. Tirpitz is about, if you're going to play it as its classic playstyle where you're going to push and you want to be aggressive and you want to brawl, then you have to know what time it is. And what I mean by that is you have to know when it is time to push, when it is time to hold, and when it is time to possibly give some ground and play a little more of a defensive role. But regardless of that, you can still be tanky. You can still be a damage-attracting ship. Quick look at the teams there. 2 destroyers apiece and a decent number of cruisers. They have 1 extra battleship, and we obviously have that replaced with a cruiser. So not a horrible team setup. While I was playing the same session, I had a game where I had like 5 destroyers on a team, like absolutely ridiculous. 5 destroyers, why? And then there was no cruisers. It was destroyers and battleships and 1 cruiser on each team. I don't get the matchmaking sometimes, I guess, But anyway, back to this game. You obviously see that we have friendly destroyer in D. I threw the hooks on number 1 because if I go into the David cap, I'm a giant reset target. So all I have to do is get shot, and then we do not cap that target, or that cap point. So far we're doing pretty good. We have a destroyer in A, destroyer in D. Good destroyer play so far early on. Enemy Z-23 pops up on the screen. Immediately ping him. He's going to get a shot as soon as I can reload here, as long as he's still spotted. Or I'm not going to make the smart play and I'm going to shoot the Ochakov. So I'll call myself out there. Bad play. Should have shot the Z-23. That was not a good call by me, but this hide build, you are a fire attracting ship. Obviously with the flammable cannoneer as your perk, you have a much higher chance of getting set on fire. But again, back to the Tirpitz. This ship and a lot of these German battleships, you see a lot of people just rush in, make reckless decisions. It's about knowing what time it is, knowing when to push. Basically, it's something that I can't tell you either. I can't say, hey, at the 9-minute mark of every game, it's go time. It's time to push. Well, no, because what happens if the game's over in 6 minutes? Well, and now you wasted all that time. It's knowing, looking at the map, it's looking at score, it's doing all those things. So King George is sitting broadside here. Got lucky to still be alive, to be honest with you. Probably should have taken him out before. Again, not the best RNG, 2 out of 4 shells. King George is, he's going down here. Let's be honest, he's going down. And we get the kill on him. Up to 29,000. 1 sinking. Take the torpedo for the Z-23. At this point, it's time to push, right? Battleship's off the board. Z-23 just shot his shot. It's time to push. It's time to do what we do. Let those secondary Tirpitz build 8.3 kilometer secondary range, do some work. It's time to push. Rush this Z-23 off the cap, and then let's try to push it on and hold and secure this cap. Pop the heel, pop the plane. No aircraft carriers here, so I'm using it purely as a spotting plane. So we'll see what happens. This is where the Tirpitz shines. This next little sequence here is what somebody who plays German battleships lives for, right? You're going to see a fun sequence. And I agree with that sentiment that the German line is fun to play because you do get up close, you do push, you do play aggressively. So I'm throwing the angle off a little bit here. I was obviously sailing more in toward the gap, and then I, turned out a little bit. So that's where those torpedo misses are coming from. Ochakov is very lucky to still be on the board, even with the Citadel and the huge chunk, half his health gone. He's lucky. I'll say it. I don't mind. So you see him pop up there. You have another cruiser over there, the New Orleans. You have the battleships on the far side. Okay. And there is, I believe, So this situation here is, like I was saying, exactly what the Tirpitz does well. Okay, so the Ochakov sails around the back of the island. I'm trying to turn out because I know he's coming. I know he's going to probably have torpedoes in the water. So you're going to see I'm going to use the gun lock here in a minute to put the guns where I want them to be when I'm done turning out. Secondaries on both sides going off, that's always a cool shot. And then with this hide secondary build, you actually can get some pretty good chunk damage on these cruisers. So put a nasty salvo into the New Orleans double citadel, turn it out. Ochakov doesn't have much of an angle. I'm going to send a big salvo his way, hopefully. And we get, 6,700 damage. Okay, so we hit him pretty hard. Okay, so now again, we're changing the angle. Obviously, he's going from one side to the other, which tells us one thing. He's throwing torpedoes at us, right? Now, okay, there's his first salvo of torpedoes. Friendly Edinburgh took him out. Good play there by the Edinburgh. Appreciate him. So that little sequence right there kind of shows you it's a great pushing ship. Time to get aggressive, and you can really make people pay for it. Now, we took a lot of attracted damage so far this game. I mean, we've been basically under fire and getting shot at since this game started. So it really shows the tankiness too as well of this ship. So up to 90,000, one sinking, 15 secondary hits, 3 citadels of fire, decent number of incapacitations, okay? And let's add an assist capture ribbon to that. So it's always nice in a battleship to get an assist capture. Get a good amount of XP at the end of the game there. It's a good play. So at this point, I'm saying, all right, well, let's go sail to intercept the enemies, see where they're headed. Edinburgh and I are moving in the same general direction. We're going to move down this little gap here between Charlie and Bravo. The islands kind of split the spawns, and see what we can get ourselves into here. So again, like I've been saying, hide is my go-to. If you don't have hide, feel free to go with Ciliax. I would advise against Von Hipper. Reason being is because if you play this ship aggressively and you like to brawl, 3 heals really isn't enough, in my opinion. It's just an opinion. 3 heals goes quickly. 5 seems to take forever to use up. So sweet spot is probably about 4 at least. But torpedoes coming in there. Edinburgh takes one. And I got lucky on the angling. Might not take one. Might take one. Yep. Okay. Look at that dodge. Good job there. So Cleveland's now within secondary range. Send a main salvo his way. Hit him for 3,800. Send another. Flip the rear guns in there. So secondaries are chiming in. Main guns did 5k damage. Cleveland's angling up. Edinburgh smoking up. So he's going to conceal us. Well, at least himself, because the second I pull the trigger again, I'm going to be seen. So this Cleveland makes me think that. So Cleveland here, when he's flat broadside, it's a difficult ship to citadel, but when he does give you the angle, you can get some good chunk damage off of him. Ideally, I would have liked to have gotten him off the board a salvo or two ago. So part of me is not pushing here because I'm thinking that the enemy destroyer is hiding behind one of these islands, and this Cleveland's trying to basically kite away and pull me into a devastating torp strike. So just again, it's one of those things. I don't have hard proof of it or anything like that, but it's field play, And of course, look at that torpedoes. So, yeah, it's just one of those situations where you just kind of go, this is what it feels like. I'm about to get set up here. So up to 110,000 damage. Again, that play before with the Tirpitz, I feel like that's what really makes this ship shine, and that's its moment, in that tank, basically between 8 to 10 kilometers. The main guns are devastating, and then obviously with the secondaries at 8.3, if you can get around 8 kilometers, this ship is a damage output machine. And with the torpedo threat, you're going to be able to force a lot of people into making bad angling decisions simply because of the fact that they're either going to get destroyed with your torpedo strike, or they're going to try to angle out and open a broadside and give you that. So I think that all in all, this Tirpitz, if played properly, can be devastating. 12-kilometer shot right here. Look at that dispersion. Best dispersion of the game so far, I'd say. We're darn close to it. 7K hit. There's our high caliber. So I just wanted to really showcase that I do still play Tirpitz the way it's intended to be played. I'm not afraid of pushing. If you watch any of my channel, you'll know that. I'm an advocate for aggressive play, but I'm also an advocate for staying alive. You don't just throw your ship away at the start of a game because you want to gung-ho, bum rush in there. So the best way I can describe and tell somebody to work on a good shot there by Amalfi. Best suggestion I can make for somebody who's looking to get better with aggressive, brawling, pushing battleships. First starts off with understanding how the ebb and flow of legends goes, if that makes sense. So, what I mean by that is you need to understand the mechanics of the game, the way the scoring is done, basically play the game. Okay, and then as you play, you're going to learn to look at the mini-map more, and along those lines, you're going to be able to figure out, hey, all right, this situation seems like, probably not the best idea to go around this island with the battleship that was last seen on that angle, or there was a destroyer seen right over here. I don't really want to go push around this island, or I don't want to sail on a straight line for a super long time. All these things are things that you just develop with play. And the main thing, and the last point I'm going to make with regard to that and how to be a better brawling battleship, is keep aware of the minimap. Okay? A good player is constantly checking the minimap. I'm not a good player, so I'm not constantly checking it as much as I would like to claim that I am, but I still try to glance every 10 seconds-ish at the upper corner, and mainly because of the fact that I want to see what I'm not seeing in my immediate field of view. So, for example here, okay, I'm sailing, my guns are off the starboard side. So what I mean by that is that guns are facing off of the starboard side. By using the minimap, I might know what's going on the port side, right? My guns and my field of view is starboard. Port side, I might be able to see what's going on. So I think it's critical to know the map, constantly work on checking the map. It's something that's important that good players do. So there's a little look at Brawling Tirpitz for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Suzuya is going to be coming soon. One more week of missions here, and then I'll be having that bad boy. Looks like a pretty strong ship. 2900 base XP. Hope you guys liked the video. If you did, give it a like. We'll see you next time out on the high seas, guys.